Not every rookie enters the NFL with their balls on fire like we've seen here in the past couple years. There's a few guys that maybe take a little bit longer. In this episode, I got a couple running backs going into their second year, and we need to figure out, are they in line for a second-year breakout?
Yeah. Analytics off the chain, other channels not the same. Jake and Kyle, you know the name. Headliner Nation, we running the game.
What is going on, Headliner Nation? Jake, Fantasy Headliners. Hopefully everybody's doing well out there today, where, yes, we're talking about a couple running backs heading into their second year here in the NFL. Are they in line for a second-year breakout? We're going to find out and dive pretty deep into a few of these guys here in this show today, so make sure you stay tuned. Two guys you will not probably hear about in this video, Najee Harris and Javonte Williams. And why is that, Jake? Why would you not include the best of the best when it comes to second-year running backs? Well, this video is on second-year breakouts. Those two dudes broke out in year one, right? Najee Harris with over 1,600 total yards, 10 touchdowns. That's a rookie breakout. Javonte Williams, over 1,200 total yards, 7 touchdowns. That's basically a breakout. I don't need to sit here and tell you that those guys are going to be good this year. You already know that. And we're not in the business of just giving you information that you already know. So we're going to dive a little bit further down the list and talk about a couple other running backs to pay attention to that are heading into their second year. Now, one thing I can tell you about this episode is it's going to be an absolute straight banger of a show today. So do me a favor and hit that like button, because you guys are absolutely crushing your like goals lately. I'm at a loss right now, because yesterday's video, I asked for 800 likes. It wasn't even some big, huge keyword video, and you guys hit 1,000 in 24 hours. That just makes my juices pump. I could lift a Volkswagen right now. That's how excited I am for this season, and I greatly appreciate that support. So we're going to set this like goal. I mean, I'd like to go over 1,000, but I ain't here to be greedy. So let's set it at 900. If we can get 900 likes on this video, I will give a free draft guide to somebody down below in the comment section. So leave those comments, hit that like button, because here we go. And then in yesterday's video, I wasn't planning on announcing a winner 24 hours later. I thought it would take a little bit longer, so that'll probably be in tomorrow's episode, so stay subscribed there when I announce the winners of yesterday's like goal, because you guys are absolutely nuts. But hit that like button. Here we go. First player we're talking about is Travis Etienne of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, some people here this offseason kind of thought I was off the Travis Etienne bandwagon, and really, I'm not. I've said all along that I just want to see this kid healthy and back on the field before I go into like full-on hype mode. Well, now OTAs are here, and we're starting to see some videos, some reports, some clips, and the juices are starting to flow. But I'm not going to just overhype him. It's really just time to start following him closely. Remember, a lower leg injury for a running back, not ideal. We need to make sure nothing flares back up, he doesn't have any setbacks, and that he's 100% good to go, because the situation that he's in is what you would classify is really, really good here in Jacksonville. You got James Robinson, who's coming off of a torn Achilles, and he's doubtful to be a full go by the start of the season. That basically leaves Travis Etienne to be the dude in the backfield of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Plus, he knows the quarterback under center already, right? Trevor Lawrence coming into his second year with a bunch of new weapons. He's added Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, Zay Jones. He's really going to be looking for somebody that he trusts and that he's familiar with. Insert Travis Etienne. They played in college together. They're Clemson guys. They got that Clemson chemistry. They know where each other is going to be. And Travis Etienne isn't just some plotter behind the line of scrimmage going to run it up the middle. No. He is a big-time playmaker and a big-time pass catcher. There's going to be times where he's lined up out in the slot. There'll be times he's in the backfield. He really kind of wants, and it's come out here recently, to be kind of the quote-unquote Debo role. Okay, I don't know if I want to go that far with it. I'm not going to say this guy's going to be like the next Debo Samuel. However, his skill set could be similar, just on a slightly lower scale, if that makes any sense to you. The pass catching upside is going to be there. The team's going to be trailing a lot. They're going to have to be throwing the ball a lot. And this guy has a serious nose for the end zone. He had 78 touchdowns in 55 games at Clemson. I had to go double check it. I thought I had a typo. 78 touchdowns in just 55 games, and now he's on a team that's going to need some touchdowns. He's going to get the opportunity. As of right now, he's currently sitting at running back 21. Last year, running back 21 scored right around 165 half PPR fantasy points, and that was Melvin Gordon. But Etienne, he's just not that Najee, Jonathan Taylor type guy, right? He's not a 300 touch guy. Is he? No. But he did see 244 touches in his junior year in college, and that would be ideal to keep him right around that same number once again here this year. We want to keep him healthy. We want to keep him fresh. We don't want to run him into the ground. So with his mix of pass game and running work, he should be in the neighborhood of 225 to 250 total touches. I love that, because with his efficiency in college, where he averaged 7 yards per carry and 11.3 yards per reception, yes, I know that is not sustainable in the NFL. I'm not saying that, but let's be somewhat safe with some of our projections here and say that he only averages 4.7 yards per carry, which is still really good, and he gets right around 175 carries. How about 50 receptions at right around 8 to 9 yards per carry? That's going to put him at a total of just over 1,200 total yards. Even if you just sprinkle in a handful of touchdowns, it's going to put him right in the neighborhood of 180 fantasy points, which would have made him top 15 in 2021. The potential breakout is there for Travis Etienne, and as long as he is healthy, 100% heading into the season, dude's in line for a huge second-year breakout. What about somebody who I had some high hopes for? This one kind of hurts a little bit. It's going to be Michael Carter of the New York Jets. And his situation just isn't the same, right? It's apples and oranges when you look at Michael Carter and Travis Etienne. For Michael Carter, he was in a great situation before the draft. And then they went out and took Breece Hall, who we know is going to be the alpha in that backfield. But what can Michael Carter still be in this offense? Because this dude does not suck at all. And he's been the bridesmaid in a backfield before. He did it in college. Do you know who he shared a backfield with in college? It was Javonte Williams. And despite sharing that backfield, Michael Carter still managed 1,500 total yards and 11 touchdowns his senior year. Heck, he's never even had a season in college or the pros so far in which he's had over 200 touches. So he doesn't need huge volume. So Breece Hall may limit that ceiling, but it's not really going to affect the floor very much as long as this guy continues to get a few touches every single game just due to his efficiency. He only had 183 total touches last year, finished with just under 1,000 total yards, and only played in 14 games. Is it out of the question for him to see similar volume to that? No, not all. Can he see more? That's going to be somewhat doubtful with Breece Hall there, but similar volume, right around 183 touches, absolutely. I expect him to kind of be a little bit closer to that 200 mark by the end of the season, so it doesn't make him a bad option, especially not at his ADP. Right now, his ADP is into the 12th round at running back 44. But are the stars really aligning here for a true second-year breakout? No, not really. The Jets are much improved overall, and I'm kind of looking at similar production to what we saw in 2021 here for Michael Carter in 2022. There's more pass-catching weapons like we've talked about here with Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore back and healthy, a couple of tight ends. He's a solid late-round stash for sure. Anything happens to Breece Hall, Michael Carter's stock is going to climb. But going into draft season, is he in line to be a true second-year breakout? No. Is he in line to finish with right around 1,000 total yards and be a solid option late in drafts? Yes. Lastly, let's talk about Elijah Mitchell now of the San Francisco 49ers. And full disclosure here on Elijah Mitchell, I loved Elijah Mitchell a lot pre-draft here. Thought he was going to be an absolute steal in fantasy football here this season. And he still might be. There's just more question marks now than there were back then. We know Raheem Mostert, he's gone. He's in Miami. That's good news. Mitchell coming off a very good, unexpected rookie season in which he had 226 touches for 1,100 total yards and 6 total touchdowns. Heck, there was a span there, majority of the season, where he was seeing close to 19 touches per game. 19 touches per game, where you can get Elijah Mitchell in the San Francisco 49ers offense. That's enough to make you go 6 to midnight. Trust me, I would love that. The problem is, the draft happened, and then we kind of got reminded that Kyle Shanahan just loves a lot of running backs. They went out in the 3rd round and drafted Tyrion Davis-Price out of LSU. That was enough to make me go, son of a, because I was not too happy about it. Is TDP the death of Elijah Mitchell? No, not at all. Elijah Mitchell has earned the spot to start the season as the running back 1 in San Francisco. But what does this really mean? It means that Kyle Shanahan in San Francisco has had 5 different lead running backs in his 5 years of coaching there. He loves to use multiple backs, and he's really not, reliant on just one guy. It's kind of how he's always been. Even in Atlanta, remember it was Tevin Coleman there with Devontae Freeman. There was always these tandems of running backs, and it could happen again because the San Francisco depth chart is absolutely loaded. Elijah Mitchell, TD Price, Jeff Wilson Jr. still there, Trey Sermon, JaMychal Hasty, and the list goes on. Then you add in the fact that they could turn to Trey Lance, and he could steal some work and some goal line touchdowns as well. The stars aligned for Elijah Mitchell just last year, right? Raheem Mostert went down, Jeff Wilson Jr. was hurt. They really didn't have very many other healthy options, and Elijah Mitchell capitalized with his opportunity. We also don't know this year what's going to happen with Deebo Samuel. Is his role going to change? Is he going to be there? Tons of question marks here that just really makes us scratch our head. He had a great rookie year, and part of me wanted to classify him as a year 1 breakout. But the guy didn't even basically play a full season, so I don't think we've seen the full ceiling of Elijah Mitchell here just yet. Do I see his numbers improving this year? I do, as long as he stays healthy, because all he's got to do is play more than 11 games, and if he's getting touches, he's going to exceed these numbers in that offense. As of right now, though, he's sitting right around running back 24. And if I can get him outside running back 20, I'm all over it. I will draft him in a heartbeat. I'll take him in the mid-rounds, and I'll hope for that breakout. If it doesn't happen, I've only invested a 6th or 7th round pick or so wherever he falls once the season starts. Something to pay close attention to. If you can get Elijah Mitchell right around the 6th round or so as your running back 3, as your flex play, that I don't hate whatsoever. Do I want Elijah Mitchell to enter the season as my running back 2 with all these question marks? Probably not. If this kid can stay healthy, we could be looking at a huge 2nd-year breakout, but that is a huge, huge if, with really nailing down whether or not he's going to be a 2nd-year breakout or not. Now, I do have a bonus nugget. One guy that I kind of just want to just toss out there, just toss him to you, just to pay attention to. Just write his name down, write it in pencil. Don't write it in pen. It's not permanent. We need to start watching Ramondre Stevenson. No, that's a name we need to pay attention to here this offseason. He had 700 yards in his rookie year in an offense that uses multiple backs, and he still averaged 4.6 yards per carry, and now word is coming out that he's really working on his pass-catching skills. That's great. They did bring back James White there in New England, so how much are we going to see that here this year? I don't know, but if anything happens to Damian Harris, Ramondre Stevenson could absolutely pop here this year in this offense in New England. Just a name to pay attention to. I don't think as of right this second, he's going to see the opportunity for a true 2nd-year breakout. He needs some things to happen, but if they do, that's a guy that we need to pay attention to late in draft. So wanted to make sure I tossed out that bonus nugget for you here, just so you had the name ready and available. But really after that, there wasn't a whole lot of 2nd-year running backs that we can truly look at that actually have a potential for a breakout here in their 2nd year. If you have questions on anybody, leave them down below in the comment section. Remember, we're trying to hit that like goal. 900 likes, we'll give away a free draft guide. Leave that comment, hit the like button, and subscribe if you haven't already. We got you covered on all things fantasy football throughout the remainder of the year. We don't take any days off, and our draft guide is right around the corner. If you head over to thefantasyheadliners.com, you can get yourself a 2022 draft guide pre-ordered right now, scheduled to drop right around July 1st, and you'll have over 600 pages of fantasy football goodness to make sure you have all the information you need to dominate here in 2022. But for now, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day, a great week, and we'll talk to you later.